Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. We have a very powerful full moon happening this month. It is a full moon in Aries, and you can expect a lot of fire and passion and drive during this time. Now, the full moon occurs on Sunday, the 16th of October at 5:23 in the morning, and that's based on British summer time, which is UK time. So if you're outside of Europe, then take the time difference into account. But the full moon happens every month, okay? And I'm going to put a chart up here to show you what it looks like in the astrology chart. But it's when the sun and the moon are 180 degrees apart and they oppose each other. So because they're totally opposite each other, the sun completely illuminates the moon, and the moon then reflects that light and puts its own kind of stamp on it. The moon is currently in Aries, so when it reflects that light, it reflects it in an Aries kind of way and showers us with Aries energy. Now, the full moon is the time of the month when the moon really affects us most powerfully. You know, even people who don't follow astrology will often talk about the full moon and say that they have problems sleeping, or that it affects their body, or that they notice there's more arguing or conflict. Now, this full moon in particular is going to be one of those that the everyday person, you know, people who don't really look into astrology, are going to notice because it is so powerful. First of all, it's at 23 degrees, 2 and 3 is 5, which is about freedom, and the moon is in Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Astrology is based on the seasons, so the year starts at the spring equinox on the cusp between Pisces and Aries. So Aries is the beginning of the new year, and it really represents all of the fiery new beginnings and all of the energy that has to do with making a fresh start and starting something new. You know, so there's a lot of power inherent in Aries. It's about driving things forward. It's about removing obstacles. If you actually look at the little ram that represents Aries, it's an animal that is designed to just push things out of its way and to be headstrong and to move forward no matter what the obstacle is. So that's what this moon is going to align us with, and it's an especial push towards personal freedom. So it's a great time to really get things done for the self and to think about your own personal desires and what you're trying to implement, what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to move forward, and really harness this energy and use it for your own benefit. So if you're trying to start a new business, or if you want to move, or if you want to launch a new product or start new relationships, or tackle something that has been very difficult for a long time, this is the time to do it. What's going to be problematic is if you're in a situation where you're being repressed, or where you're, you know, in a situation where you have to listen to an authority figure and you really don't want to listen to it, or you have to conform to some sort of institution. That's going to be difficult because the focus during this full moon is really going to be on you, on the self. What can I do independently? What am I passionate about? What do I want to move forward with? And what obstacles are in my way that I want to remove? Okay, so it may be that if you're in a position where you do have to kind of compromise and take orders, that you will see that as an obstacle that you want to push out of your way. So when you look at it in that sense, it becomes really clear that there's real potential for arguments or blow-ups or fire or conflict during this time, because it's about seeing what you can do solo and looking at, you know, me versus them. And if someone really opposes you, you're not going to say, oh, okay, I'll back off. It's going to be like, you're in my way, I'm going to push you out of my way. So remember also that we're all influenced by this moon, and that a lot of people during this time are going to be thinking about themselves and their own personal freedom and what they want. So if you're expecting a lot of focus on you, or a lot of people to pay attention to you, you're going to find that that doesn't really resonate, and you might be, what's going on here? Everyone's kind of off doing their own thing. So really use this energy for good and look at personal obstacles in your own life that you want to overcome and use it to overcome those. The sun is in Libra, So these two are at opposite ends now. Libra is about compromise. It's about building bridges with other people. It's about looking what you can do for others and being considerate. Okay. And now the full moon on the other side is about the self and being inconsiderate. That is stronger on this day. But what is added to this energy on top of that is that we've got Uranus, the planet of rebellion and eccentricity and doing things in your own unique, eccentric way, is conjunct to the moon. So it's sitting right on top of it. It's 1 degree away and it combines its energy with the moon. So all of the qualities that have to do with Uranus are very similar to Aries, because Aries is about pushing forward no matter what. And Uranus is about being a maverick and thinking for yourself and doing things in your own way and not compromising. So when these two come together, there's even more willfulness, there's even more stubbornness and self going on. Now, Uranus is also in the sign of Aries, so you've got this rebel, raring to go, driving to move forward, sitting on top of this full moon, which is like a flower opening up and saying, here you go, have all of my energy, have all this Aries energy. That's in Aries, and the two really, really smack together to give us a full moon, which I think we're going to remember for a while. It's going to be really powerful. So again, give yourself the personal freedom to do things in your own way and don't repress yourself, express yourself. I'll have to do a attribution for that there. Because if you don't, you'll be frustrated and you'll feel ill at ease. You'll want to do things your way. You know, also a situation where you can't speak up for yourself or where you have to make nice or small talk or something, that's really going to grate. So allow yourself to have free reign during this full moon. Now, the full moon makes an aspect, a semi-square, so it's 45 degrees away from Neptune in Pisces and the South Node in Pisces. So there will be, with this aspect, this connection, there will be an additional sense that I do things my way and I've always done things my way, and I remember back 10 years ago or 20 years ago or even in a past lifetime that I've always done it this way, and I'm certainly not going to compromise now. So all of these things are conspiring to really give you a sense of total entitlement and an unshakable confidence that is kind of beyond reproach. If anyone comes and questions you, it'll be like, what on earth are they thinking? Me? How can you question me? So that Neptune and South Node energy will really give you a sense that you're entitled to do what you're doing. And again, it will make you very reluctant to see the other person's point of view. Another aspect pattern that's formed is a sesqui square, so the full moon is 135 degrees away from the North Node in Virgo at 10 degrees. So this is about focusing on doing things your way and saying, I've got a goal in mind and I want things to happen exactly the way I want them to, and I expect them to look a certain way at the end. So again, you know, potential for conflict if you want to get things done a certain way and you have to work with other people, and you're very clear on what you expect at the other side of that, and it looks different. Again, you know, what can happen? Frustration, upset, anger, saying, I want it this way, I'm not going to accept and tolerate it being done this way. So all of this energy is pushing towards a situation where everything is kind of about you. Okay, so those are the relationships the moon forms. Yeah, so those are the three relationships. If you'd like me to look at how this full moon impacts you and where it sits in your chart and how it's going to impact you specifically, then please get in touch with me for a private reading. You can do that by going to gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading with me there. Please remember to subscribe to the channel for the daily tarot readings and the weekly horoscopes, the monthly horoscopes, and all these extra videos that I do. Yeah, and that's it. But before I leave you, I just want to talk about something that's on a different subject, more on a personal note. And I left it to the end because a lot of people will have now got the information about the moon that they were looking for and they will have tuned out. But I just want to talk about these videos themselves. I've only been doing the new moon and full moon videos for about a month or two, and something amazing happened that made me so happy about the first two videos in. A very famous YouTuber called Maria Gentle Whispering, who is like an ASMR artist. She makes videos that are designed to relax people and to calm them and give them tingles. She subscribed to the channel because she watched the full moon and new moon videos, and she subscribed, and she even mentioned that a video was helpful. And I have been a fan of this woman for ages, and I was so happy. I was like a super fan, and I was just so thrilled that I had this super famous person subscribing to the channel. I was just over the moon with it. And today I looked at my subscriptions, and to my horror, I looked and I discovered that she's now unsubscribed. She's rejected me. I feel like a schoolboy who has been slapped in the playground and who's been told that no one likes him and that he's been judged and found wanting, and it really devastated me. It's such a little trivial thing, but I'm just like, oh my God, why wouldn't she like what I'm doing? What am I doing wrong? How could she have left me? I was such a fan. I am such a fan. How could she do this to me? Anyway, I'm devastated. And I will continue despite Maria Gentle Whispering's rejection of me, and I will continue on my path and my journey, and whether she likes it or not, I'm going to keep going. So there you go. I just wanted to get that off my chest because it really hurt my feelings. It did. It did. I was like, how could she leave me? I put so much effort into it. What's not to like? Anyway, I'm not for everybody. That's one of the facts of life, but it's not so fun to find out when you're a fan of that person, but there you go. So I hope the information has been useful about the full moon happening this month. If you do want to get in touch with me for any reason, please do visit the website or send me an email. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I'll speak to you soon.